Looking for financial insights you can trust?
How do you protect yourself as an investor? What's the strategy?
I think it's really simple. I think you just want to be diversified in your portfolio.
The Payne family brings real-world experience to every conversation.
Well, I think that's the problem right now is, right, a lot of people that are close to retirement, they're taking so much risks. And if we do get a big sell-off, it could derail their retirement.
Listen to the Pain Points of Wealth on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
This episode is brought to you by Netflix. Jay Kelly, the new film from Academy Award nominee Noah Baumbach. George Clooney stars as an actor confronting his past and present on a journey of self-discovery, alongside Adam Sandler as his devoted manager. Critics are calling it a declaration of love to the chaotic art of filmmaking, with the Wall Street Journal praising it as a transcendent comedy drama. Jay Kelly is now playing only on Netflix.
The Rush Hour with James Golden. Entertaining and informative on the Red Apple Podcast Network. Attention Ditto Heads. Attention Bo Scouts.
Goes by the pseudonym Bo Snerdley.
It's time for the soul of excellence.
He is a radio host here in New York.
The Rush Hour is on the air.
Rush.
Now here's James Golden.
And Admiral Bradley was totally justified in a decision he made. A decision, by the way, that was broadcast on multiple secure screens at the Pentagon in Fort Bragg, and that hundreds of people watched in real time with probably dozens of JAG lawyers. So what the Washington Post said last week was a complete lie. They owe an apology to Pete Hegseth, and especially they owe an apology to Admiral Mitch Bradley. He is a highly decorated career Navy SEAL.
Any American who sees the video that I saw will see the United States military attacking shipwrecked sailors. Bad guys, but attacking shipwrecked sailors. Now there's a whole set of contextual items that the Admiral explained. Yes, they were carrying drugs. They were not in the position to continue their mission in any way.
The President of the United States is a killer. I am outraged at the way that on his own, without any consultation, he doesn't know whom they are, whether they're innocent or whether they're guilty. He should follow the laws. The laws does not allow or intend for the President of the United States to just kill anybody that he wants to kill.
Unless your name is Obama, because we never complained about him when he was in the drones, and we weren't outraged then, because he was our Obama. He could send all the drones he wants and kill American citizens, and even when he killed an American citizen with the drone, we didn't care, because he was Obama. But Trump, he's a killer, and I am outraged. And the Democrats, my friend, oh yeah, there we go. They were just poor sailors, terrified sailors. Yeah, they had drugs. Yeah, they're part of a drug cartel. But no, they're innocent little sailors that got shipwrecked. And oh no, what did we do? Oh no. Jem Himes, I've been calling him something else. Welcome, my friends, to the Friday edition of Bo Snerdley's Rush Hour, fastest hour in American media. That's part of the news today. We have another one from this Heim guy. Let's just get it out the way now. He was on the PMS, whatever they call it now, PMS, whatever. And he was on with Psaki, with Jen Psaki. And this, cut 4, Carlos, this is him with Jen Psaki.
Huh. You know, I live in a political world, and a lot of folks, if you just tell them, you know, the president is killing narco-terrorists in the Caribbean, you know, reasonably enough, they'll say, you know, a lot of Americans die because of overdoses, and, you know, they might say, okay, I'm supportive of that, right? But what you need to do is you need to see two terrified men clinging to the wreckage of a ship. And these men are not, this is not Pablo Escobar out there on a boat. These are guys that probably didn't have a lot of economic opportunity, made a terrible decision to participate in the drug trade.
Do you believe this? The excuse making. How does he know, by the way, that one of these guys won't turn out to be a Pablo Escobar? He's a fortune teller, and he knows they were probably Democrats. They were probably oppressed people. They probably didn't have any opportunities, so they had no choice but to run drugs into the United States and kill Americans. I mean, yeah, reasonably you might want to see this stuff, but we're Democrats, and we will find a reason to support the people that want to destroy America and that are doing it no matter what. As long as we can go after Trump, we will support any criminal that does anything, no matter how many Americans they kill, as long as we can try to score points against Donald Trump. That is the message from your Democrat Party. And from Maxine, I am outraged. I am outraged. She used to be able to, screech a little bit better, but she's, we're all advancing in age, and Auntie Maxie is no different. So now she's a lot more soft-spoken than she used to be, but it's still the same, I am outraged. He's a killer. And we didn't mind it when Obama was a killer. And he was drowning people, but Trump, he's a killer. I am outraged. Hey. Okay, the last one. Oh, and then you have their media. I love the way Joe Borelli on CNN, I don't know much about this guy, but I just love the way he takes on the Abbey. The Abbey is just, she's another one. They really should call it the Scott Jennings show, because when he's on there, he's the only thing worth, except for people like this guy, Joe Borelli. He's good too, but they should just call it the Scott Jennings show with the Abbey. And that's cut 5, Carlos, the Abbey. And here's the Abbey trying to do her best to dance and justify it.
Were shipwrecked, essentially, after the boat was capsized. They tried to turn over the boat that was still floating, perhaps to survive, and then they were bombed again. How is that an attempt to get back into the fight?
I don't know, and let me just start by saying I don't care, not one bit. Genuinely and wholly do not care about these two men in the boat. We're talking about two people who were clinging to life. How about the thousands of Americans every month that are on the floor in some bathroom clinging to life because of overdoses from drugs that these people brought? These guys are not good guys, but this basically follows the typical Democratic fact pattern. It starts with a fake news story about Pete Hegseth that gets disproven, right? He didn't actually order them to kill everyone. That's been sort of taken back. And then it goes into the part where Democrats defend the bad guys at the expense of law enforcement and now the American military. This is kind of standard Democratic operations. And if you ask me, I give more of a crap about the Americans who are losing their life every single year to drug overdose than two jerks floating on a boat trying to flip it back over or whatever. It doesn't matter.
Boom. You know who else had good on this one? She's a little bit of a DQ, but drama. She's sometimes a DQ, but she's making a name for herself. Cut 2, Ana Paulina Luna. And this is Ana Paulina Luna.
For any of these people, I don't care if they're Democrats or not, but are they super critical of President Obama when he did the same thing? The fact is that for the most part, to my knowledge, since I've really been alive, which has been, for 36 years, there's been many presidents who have used this authority and it hasn't been a big deal. I do understand, though, that it might be shocking for people to see footage of narco-terrorists being blown out of the water, but I would argue that maybe those people need to go into inner city Chicago, or maybe they need to check out Skid Row and see what happens when you have people injecting themselves with drugs, or see what happens to the families in this country that have to deal with children that are ODing. So I have no sympathy for those people that are choosing to traffic drugs into this country, and I definitely don't have any sympathy for the fact that these terrorist networks are responsible for destabilizing and causing mass atrocities in part of these countries in South America, of which I've traveled to. I have seen the mass graves and the footage of mass graves that are responsible and funded largely by these terrorist networks. So no, I don't have sympathy. This is called governing, and we are going to do what we need to do to keep the American people safe.
Very good. Very, very. She's on it. I like this woman. She can be a bit of a DQ sometimes, but, there are a bunch of women all of a sudden in the Republican Party popping up that are DQs. But that's for another day, another time. Listen, Supreme Court. Yay. Supreme Court. Two things today. And we are outraged. Liberals are outraged by both. Not one. They're hoping on the other. We are outraged. The Supreme Court is allowing Texas to use their congressional map favorable to Republicans in 2026. A divided Supreme Court came to the rescue of Texas Republicans. It was announced yesterday, allowing next year's elections to be held under the state's congressional redistricting plan favorable to the GOP and pushed by President Trump. The map likely discriminates on the basis of race. This is the AP. No, this is the strangest argument when you think about it rationally. I saw one of these Congress people from somebody running for office down there in Texas on this bandwagon too. The black and brown people in Texas are now going to have to suffer from having racially gerrymandered districts put in place. Okay. Question. Are black and brown districts, aren't they already racially gerrymandered? They're drawn so that they can be what? Black or brown or whatever. On the basis of what? On the basis of race. So, Carlos, we have a question. You can answer the question because you know the answer. It's Princess, it's Your Highness, so you better answer it. Our princess, our beloved princess, wants to know what the DQ is.
Drama queen.
Thank you. So, as I was saying, you have districts that are already put together so that they can do what? Be black or brown. Isn't that racially gerrymandering? So what are y'all complaining about? I don't get it. In fact, you might say that what the GOP is trying to do is stop racism. Let's stop using race as a factor. Let's not be racist. Let's not have racially gerrymandered districts in Texas or anywhere else. Let people just be people. We're all one people. James Golden, Snerdley. They're upset about this, by the way. James Golden, Snerdley with you here. Fastest hour in American media. Do not go away.
Rush. This is the Rush Hour with James Golden.
Oh, Snerdley.
The Rush Hour with James Golden. Entertaining and informative on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
James Golden, known popularly as Bo Snerdley.
This is The Rush Hour with James Golden.
Rush.
Ryan Cole Jr., a 30-year-old white man from the D.C. suburbs, is charged with transporting an explosive device in interstate commerce and with malicious destruction. Ryan Cole Jr., a 30-year-old white man from the D.C. suburbs, is charged with transporting an explosive device in interstate commerce and with malicious destruction.
Have you seen the pictures of the guy that Jake Tapper was talking about, the white man, that the pipe bomber? Have you seen pictures of him? he's the darkest skinned white man I've seen in ages. Then he be brown. He ain't well. My friends, yesterday the world of music lost a great one. Steve Cropper passed away, guitarist, songwriter. Playing this one because that's his guitar work on this. You hear his guitar work on He's Sitting on the Dock of the Bay. So many other hits that came out of the Memphis, the Stax Groove, Booker T and the MGs. Play it, Steve. That's it. The mighty Steve Cropper passed away. He was 84 years old. Voted, I think he was ranked 39th on the Rolling Stone list of the top 100 guitarists of all times. Britain's Mojo magazine put him second behind Jimi Hendrix on their list. He's just an amazing guitarist. The world of music owes him a lot. Okay, we have... since we're doing this, I have some things for you to listen to, and we can discuss. The birthright case, Supreme Court. Yes, this one could be the biggest doozy of them all. I think I saw Princess Diana saying she doesn't know whether this is going to, a text from her, whether this is going to be a win for Trump. Because let's face it, this is going to be a dicey case. I'm just keeping my fingers crossed, hoping against hope that the Supreme Court announced today is going to hear the landmark dispute over the constitutionality of President Trump's effort to end birthright citizenship. He signed an executive order, as you know, first day back in office, declaring that children born to undocumented immigrants and to some temporary foreign residents would no longer be granted citizenship automatically. And this all hinges on one or two words in the Constitution regarding this birthright, so jurisdiction thereof. Anyway, we'll see. The executive order was immediately paused by the courts without going into an effect. It would commonly upend the commonly accepted view of American citizenship since 1898, that anyone born on the soil automatically becomes a citizen. They haven't announced a date to hear the orals, but they'll probably hear it within the next few months. This one, if Trump wins this one, folks, it's time to get the carvers out. It's time to get the carvers out and tell them to head to Mount Rushmore because there's going to be another face added. James Golden, Snerdley. It's Friday, fastest hour in American media. Stay with us, please.
The Rush Hour with James Golden. Entertaining and informative on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
James Golden, known popularly as Bo Snerdley.
This is The Rush Hour with James Golden.
Rush.
Good time for me to remind you to join Red Apple Audio Networks, AARP New York City, the Police Athletic League, Aristides and D'Agostino Supermarkets, and Nationwide Imaging Services as we deliver holiday meals to more than 5,000 families across the city of New York. Go to redappleaudionetworks.com/turkey. This holiday season, help the Red Apple Audio Networks feed those in need. Your donation helps put a meal on the table of a family in need. That's redappleaudionetworks.com/turkey. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a few minutes of your time. I want to, there's been a lot said about Donald Trump's statements regarding Ilhan Omar and her friends. As you know, he described them a certain way, and there have been many, many pundits delivering scathing criticism of Donald Trump across the spectrum. Not everybody, though, Well, not everybody is annoyed with him about it. I found on social media a talker. Now, this man happens also to be an African American. Not that that would make a difference in the substance of what he's saying, but just for, as we say, color analysis, just for color, I'll give you that detail. And this is his take on the president's remarks. We had to edit out, of course, some profanities.
I'm going to be honest, y'all, man. Donald Trump said some that I think all of us wanted to say, man, especially when people come here and get all the good graces of the United States of America, everything that their hearts and dreams and desires to get. But then you got people like Ilhan Omar and individuals that's from other countries who migrated here and became a congresswoman, whatever the hell you are. You complain about how bad the U.S. is and how great your country is. Well, bitch, if it's so bad, then why don't you take your ass back to Somalia? Like Donald Trump said, all y'all do is come over here and bitch about how bad this country is. But I promise you, if we didn't open the door up for y'all asses, you'll probably be dead. So you mean to tell me you're going to come here and scam the U.S. and send that back to your country using our welfare system to fund terrorists? And yes, y'all mother fund terrorists. They skim off the top. I mean, come on now. When the last time you heard somebody say, we booking a trip to Mogadishu? Bitch, please. I mean, the same thing when I hear illegal immigrants come over here and demand rights. And it's so crazy that our leftists and young people are so brainwashed. Even black people on our side, they want to fight for these illegal immigrants. Bro, if you took your ass to Honduras or Colombia and did the that they do here, bro, your black ass wouldn't even make it. They would ship your ass right on off. It just defies logic, some of the stuff that I hear these people fight for, man. Bro, again, if the U.S. ain't, if the U.S. is so bad, if the U.S. is so racist, and you come from another country, like Donald Trump said, you can bitch, but why don't you take your ass back home and fix that? You won't. I mean, we have the most blessed, generous nation in the world. But it's so crazy that people feel like they are entitled to it. No, you're not entitled to it. Especially like Donald Trump said today. You add nothing to the system. Nothing but hands. Even if you came here as a refugee, even if you came here as a asylum seeker, that just didn't automatically give you the right to go into the welfare system and live off of it for the rest of your life. Let's think about TPS. Yes, temporary protected status. Bro, everyone wants you to be protected and to stay here and to get here and not have to leave, but everybody forgets the fact of the matter is temporary. Bro, the left, you want them to stay here. And when they get here, why would you want to work? If I give you the welfare teat and you can sit on it for the rest of your life, why would I want to go anywhere? Why would I want to thrive? Why would I want to work for anything? And it's crazy when we have veterans on the street. Honestly, sometimes in this world, I just believe I'm in a whole different world, man. Common sense means nothing. And that's why I'm attracted to Donald Trump, man. His logic, man. It's straightforward. It's not sugar-coated. It's not cut. It's telling the real ass that we really think, what you're afraid to say. And it resonates to those who work their ass off, those who love this country, those who put in the time, those that don't need nobody to tell them what they need to do or a hand up, those that didn't come from money, those who knows how to struggle and how to get up on their feet, those who bought that money to go get it. Bro, Donald Trump, keep talking your bro, because me and millions of them, we feel what the hell you saying. Stop all the bitching. Take your ass back home if you don't like it.
Helen, did you hear that? It's outrageous. It's outrageous. It's simply outrageous. He just told these people to go home. Can't have that. Ladies and gentlemen, we have more. As I mentioned to you yesterday, the Democrats are revving it up on the Obamacare stuff. This is, and this is just one. If you go on social media, they are all over the place. I'm going to ask, before I get to Obamacare, that would be cut 15, Carlos, and Senator Lisa Blunt Rochester. She's new in the Senate. Lisa Blunt Rochester. Before we get there, though, I'm going to ask my Princess Diana and her lady in waiting, the Lady Benedict, if that commentary that we just heard from that social media person, do you think that we should keep that around in the library and perhaps even play it again tomorrow? I'll wait for their decision on that. Meanwhile, the Obamacare wars are heating up, and here is Senator Lisa Blunt Rochester.
As I stand here, I'm literally thinking and watching the clock in front of me tick. The clock is ticking. Time is running out. There is a sense of urgency for those of us who are standing up here. And so I know the leader would say he doesn't consider this his plan. He considers this the American plan, that we do something. When I was looking at my television and seeing our Republican colleagues at the White House, what I thought they were announcing was a health care plan. I was shocked that what they were announcing was something that would make us less healthy. What we recognize is that the Affordable Care Act is not perfect.
Oh!
But one thing I do know is that that family who has somebody with a pre-existing condition like asthma or diabetes is grateful. That parent who has a kid who's 22 or 23 is grateful. And so what we're saying here is very simple. We have an immediate problem, an immediate crisis, an immediate cliff, and we need to take immediate action.
Tick. It's immediate. We have to act now. Tick. The clock is ticking. Yeah, in 10 more days, the subsidies. Article in The Hill today, tick. The clock is ticking. Obamacare anxiety rising among House GOP centrists. Oh no, the centrists are anxious. Oh no. Tick. Obama anxiety rising among House GOP centrists. To do this is buffoonery. Oh no, big words, buffoonery. So you have a bunch of Representative Jeff Van Drew, Republican from New Jersey, says Republican inaction on not coming up with a deal to fund this broken Obamacare. To do this is buffoonery. I want them to be in the majority next year. This makes that much harder because the districts that are so close. Yeah, well, there are a lot of conservative districts out there, too, that are Republican. They don't want this thing funded the way that Democrats want it funded. So you do. You have a lot of Democrats and Republicans in swing districts. We played one yesterday, Mike Lawler, New York. I said it yesterday. Maybe it's time for me to call Mike Lawler, see whether he'll come on the show. Because sometimes this guy does things that infuriates me, but then other times I'm like, yeah, Mike Lawler. Yeah, Mike Lawler. He says some things once in a while that are just so spot on, and then other times he makes me crazy. But anyway, he's one of those that are saying in this deal that we got to come up with something in the next 10 days. And I wonder what you think. We're going to take calls tomorrow. If you have anything on that, just give us a call tomorrow on that. We will take calls on that and other things. I promised we were going to take some calls on that airline thing we talked about yesterday, too. So we'll do that tomorrow as well. Now, other stuff that we have. Marco Rubio. I don't know what y'all think about Marco Rubio coming up. I shouldn't say this, but I'm going to say it anyway. As it stands right now, today, if it came down to a successor for Trump, right now, and this I'm saying way early, it's too early to say anything definitively. I'm talking about today, just a camera shot of today, By next week, it could be different. By tomorrow, it could be different. But right now, if I had to vote on a successor to Donald Trump, and it is so hard for me to actually believe that I'm saying this, because for years, I wasn't the biggest fan at all. Cut 10. Right now, this is the guy today that I would say, yeah, I feel comfortable with this guy being the next.
Why are we hiring American and international NGOs to go into other countries and run healthcare systems that are parallel and sometimes in conflict with the healthcare systems of the host country? If we're trying to help countries, help the country. Don't help the NGO to go in and find a new line of business. And so that's what the model that we're breaking. We're not doing this anymore. We are not going to spend billions of dollars funding the NGO industrial complex while close and important partners like Kenya are either have no role to play or have very little influence over how healthcare money is being spent. Bottom line is, if you want to help a country, work with that country, not work with a third party that imposes things on that country.
Brilliant. I love this framing. We are breaking the NGO industrial complex. That, if it happens, if they are able to really start to defund this massive network of liberal NGOs that are basically operating like a de facto government for liberals, it would be an amazing thing. I think it is a laudable goal, and I love the way that Marco Rubio has been articulating the positions of this administration and what they're doing. He's just been, to me, stellar. James Golden, Snerdley, fastest hour in American media. Bo Snerdley's Rush Hour. Keep it right here.
Rush. This is the Rush Hour with James Golden.
Bo Snerdley.
The Rush Hour with James Golden. Entertaining and informative on the Red Apple Podcast Network. It's the Rush Hour with James Golden.
Goes by the pseudonym Bo Snerdley.
Rush. Now here's James Golden.
You know, I know that, folks, there are so many acronyms out here, and I use a lot of them. The DQs, which we use today, the YNs, y'all know what that means. The ABWs, and now the ABBHWs. It's the ABWs, those are the angry black women. And the ABBHWs, those are the angry black bald-headed women. And there's some of them, right? I mean, like that Ayanna, what's her name, that's always popping off. And then there's the woman that's on PMS, whatever they call it now, Simone, Sanders, I think. She was on with Mikey, who used to be a Republican, who went over there and sounds like total Democrat. Cut 7. This is on that redistricting ruling from the court.
But also, what they essentially said is that because Texas said, well, we drew it for partisan political reasons, not race. They're using political as the cover over race. And so if this becomes the norm, that means any state in the country, particularly states in the South with a history of discrimination, can claim that they are doing things with their state maps under the guise of partisan and political when they're really using race, and they can get away with it. And I just think that that is very dangerous.
A few things here that stand out for me.
This
One,
is Mike,
the
who
court,
used to be Republican.
Supreme Court put itself in the position of the district court. It should not have done so.
Yeah.
It is not its role.
Yes, they should have.
And they basically slapped the district court, unfortunately, the way Simone just described. The other thing that I find frustrating is essentially, for me, I'm looking at the disintegration of civil rights at the hands of a party and a political philosophy that once existed within that party that elevated those civil rights. When you think about the Republican leaders who stood on the breach to get us the 13th, 14th, 15th Amendments, to fight with Democrats to get the civil rights passages made in the 60s, now dismantling that. And basically saying in no uncertain terms, it's okay to push black and brown people and communities of color into a corner in their representation. And that makes no sense to me at all.
That is not what they're saying. And by the way, they didn't fight with Democrats. They fought against the racist Democrats who put in Jim Crow. That's what's happening now. They are trying to restore or go back to the dream. Colorblind societies are too much to ask for. We are going to leave you today. I can't even tell you how much I love this song. I used to binge on this song when I first heard it. Kenny Loggins, of course, and Jim Messina. This was from a Loggins-Messina album. Jim Messina's birthday is today. American musician, songwriter, singer, and guitarist Jim Messina, who was with Buffalo Springfield. And then, of course, he formed Poco and the duet, the rock duo with Kenny Loggins and Messina, Danny's song. What a beautiful story. What a beautiful song. May God bless, protect each and every single one of you, your families, your loved ones. Love and gratitude always for your being here with me, allowing me to be with you. God willing, back early in the morning at 7 a.m. Hope you're here. In the meantime, I bid you adieu. Bye.
Thanks for listening to Bo Snerdley's Rush Hour. You can hear Bo Snerdley's Rush Hour weekdays at 4 on 77 WABC. If you like the podcast, share it with your friends and listen anytime at WABCRadio.com and download the WABC Radio app. Hit that subscribe button on all major podcast platforms. Plus, follow WABC on social on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and X. See you next time for a new episode so you never have to wonder.
What the heck is going on here? Looking for financial insights you can trust?
How do you protect yourself as an investor? What's the strategy?
I think it's really simple. I think you just want to be diversified in your portfolio.
The Payne family brings real-world experience to every conversation.
Well, I think that's the problem right now is, right, a lot of people that are close to retirement, they're taking so much risks. And if we do get a big sell-off, it could derail their retirement.
Listen to the Payne Points of Wealth on the Red Apple Podcast Network.